It is Saturday night once again. This is the Overnight Mouse Party, and we have Gizzard Gary with us. How you doing, Gizzard?
I'm doing pretty well. Good evening. Thanks for having me.
I did another batch of the AI musics.
I saw.
I think I prefer just the instrumentals to over ones with the lyrics.
That's good to have variety.
Yeah. So how you doing?
I am doing pretty well. It was a lovely day today. Temperatures in the mid 50s, bright and sunny. Got to see my granddaughter, so really nothing to complain about.
It's been raining here for the last couple days. But yeah. There's a whole bunch of, well, there seems to always be some anti-gun bills going on in the country. There's California is looking to add live fire training for gun purchases, not just CCWs. The bill requires 8 hours, a minimum of 8 hours training with 1 hour live fire. And also in the bill, if you move to California, you might have to submit pictures of what you're bringing into the state so the state DOJ can make sure that they're okay to have in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Virginia has a semi-auto rifle ban, and it's the one with all the, calling out features that makes it. They use both assault weapon and assault firearm terms in the bill, which I think possibly there has seemed to be a push somewhat recently, the last couple of years, to change the term from assault rifle, then you hear assault weapon, and now you're hearing assault firearm. Which my concern is that's to broaden what they're talking about. So it's not just rifles anymore. Now it'll be handguns. I have heard that in the recent past. The assault being added to a handgun. So a push to expand what they're banning, under what the guise of sensible gun control. G-Webs is joining us. How's it going, G-Webs? Didn't hear you if you said something. I saw you unmuted.
Thanks for the link. Thanks for hosting.
Oh, there you go.
I was busy getting my pictures and all my stuff together in case I moved to California.
It's always good to be prepared. Utah has a bill that any use of force needs to be reported. To the police which it's kind of vague on what they mean by use of force. So if you brandish and they run away, are you going to have to report that? If somebody gets in your face and you shove them back and then you both walk away, is that considered a use of force? And Kansas, there was a ruling in the 10th Circuit. There was a district court judge that had ruled what they call the Kansas two-step, where this Kansas State Patrol would initiate a stop, deal with whatever, start to walk away, come back and say, oh, one more thing. But the reason they walk away and come back is, to them, it technically started a second stop, because police are only allowed to extend a stop for as long as it takes to rectify whatever the original stop was for. So they stop you, your headlights out. They can only hold you for as long as it takes to either give you a ticket or a warning for the headlight. And the state patrol would walk away and then come back, because most drivers would believe it's part of the same stop and keep talking.
I call that the Columbo.
Oh, just one more thing. There was
Before I leave, let me just ask you one more question.
There was a second part to the ruling, which was the more important thing, which I didn't write down. I wrote just enough so I could remember that I wanted to talk about it, but not enough so I got the specifics of it. Because when the 10th Circuit took up the case, there were two parts to it, and they didn't address the two-step part, but they threw out whatever that first part was. Now I need to be
Bill to prohibit red flag laws from 5 days ago.
No.
They cannot
Kansas Supreme
target
Court
drivers.
maintained gun restriction.
Oh yes, drivers from other states.
Right.
You can't pull over somebody just because they're from another state, which the troopers were doing. So if they were from Colorado, or maybe it was California, but basically weed states, because weed isn't legal in Kansas.
Now it's ruined.
Only if they're lucky.
They would pull over out of state drivers, from specific states, and then the 10th Circuit said you can't do that. You can't target just because they're from a different state.
But they can leave like a bowl of Halloween candy out, and if they stop from a different state for some reason, they can grab them.
Well, they'll leave out bowls of chips and munchies.
Yeah, munchies.
Yeah, if they
Free
stop,
munchies.
if they
Which is
eat
why
the
we do
potato
stuff here
chips
in
and
Kansas.
giggle, then they're suspect. Guns and Barbecue. How are you doing tonight?
I'm exhausted.
Some of us got
Other than that, I'm here. Good evening.
Some of us get paid full price because we got here right on time. We didn't get late at all.
Well, you were late.
Yes, that's some of us, not me, but some of us.
Gary was on time. Gary's usually on time.
Amazingly.
Gary doesn't want to get fired from this gig. He gets fired from all those other gigs.
You got to get your income where you can get your income, man.
Oh, that's
Some of us were tired from watching Roll Call this evening.
Oh, I saw it.
I
Or
missed it.
listened to it. All 3 hours.
He's mad.
Like I was telling
Yeah, he's-
Gary, there's no way I could talk for 3 hours by myself. I mean, I struggle to make an hour if I'm on my own. I have to have
I mean,
somebody
just
else.
enough.
I guess not. Oh, some people just have that
Person
gift of
he's
gab.
pissed about is a fake though. Like I went and and while he was chatting, I went and it was like a 2-hour show, an hour show or something. So I just kept clicking on places along the way, listen to a little bit, click on places along the way, and basically like watching Never Enough Ammo or somebody. Like somebody gets paid to bitch about the world and like everything's about to get us, everything's about to kill the country. I didn't get what I want. Country's over. I might not get what I want in the future because of what they're saying on the news. Country's over.
Pinned to the top of the chat is a link for this week's poll. I did remember to do a poll this week. So if you haven't voted, head over there and vote.
And then he was complaining because the guy was saying he wasn't 2A. And I'm like, the guy has a wannabe channel. He shows off his little badge or whatever you get when you're at 100K. And the guy hadn't had one video about 2A except for his one rant where he went live. And it's an obvious test of the waters. Every other video he's got is about like how to sell an e-bike or how to sell ammo. That's it. Like he's bitching about Virginia. He doesn't have one video about what's going on in Virginia or like, hey, change Virginia. Like, you know what I mean? Like nothing. Just buy ammo, buy e-bikes. Oh, I'm upset. The world's going to end. The country's over. We lost our toys.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I still need to watch Barbecue's Bracket Chat. Country music.
There's a big one.
So
You
let
were
me
still
see.
talking about Kansas or something when Barbecue came in, rudely interrupted everything.
Oh, well, I don't. I think we kind of covered it. Their state troopers were pulling over out of state cars from weed states.
You still got more states then?
What the Colorado was the big one.
You're missing one right south of there.
Missouri.
What happened to Missouri?
Weed's legal in Missouri now too.
Oh no, I meant as far as gun stuff. New Mexico's getting whaled on.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I know I meant to come out and write that on the board, but I didn't. So I'll have you tell us because I didn't make notes.
The one I'm watching, or the only thing I remember from it, is the onerous crap they're putting on gun shops. But I know there's more than that because in these states where it's happening, they're doing everything they can. You know what I mean? They're testing their water, they're testing the ice or whatever you want to call it. Like they're throwing everything at the wall. So there's a bunch of stuff, salt bans and crap. It's just stupid. But it's instead of like California, like you're saying, going after ownership, they're going after the gun shops and making it impossible to be a small shop basically. And then going to drive prices up to crazy. Like you have to make video of everything in the shop 24/7 and keep it for 10 years. Like it's just dumb stuff that nobody's ever heard of. That's just they haven't thought about, or if they did think about it, it's to kill little shops. Things that no, it's just unreasonable stuff.
Yeah, that's what has been passed in Washington. Not quite that strict, but there's a bill to make it more strict because they do have the video. You have to have video in the shop, and I think it's point of sale, maybe entrance. And some of this might be in the new bill, but I know there is a video requirement in the new bill. You have to put all the guns away in a fireproof safe.
Yeah, like at night.
Yeah,
and this is where we're dealing with the consequence, I guess, the result of it's like I don't know if they actually say it, but it's like cool to not know about guns and hate guns a lot. Where like the people that hate guns will usually pride themselves on being so intellectually superior to everybody because they're aware of science and they give a shit about like school and shit and they know everything because they're so smart. except guns are beneath them, so they're not going to know about guns. They pass these laws that make them look like, I don't want to say children, but like, because it's kind of worse than children. Like children are dumb and can be, like taken advantage of. But these people aren't naive children. They are doing things. I don't think at this point you can say it's naive anymore when they strategically do it over and over and over, and then they shrug their shoulders and go, "We didn't know," or at least that's the kind of the only results we get from it, and we don't hold them accountable. We just act like, oh, there's no way they're doing this over and over with a plan. Like, you know what I mean? They don't tell us, so we just assume they're all just stupid, and we think that's cool. So we just bitch and complain. Like, anyway, I'm getting into a tangent, but we're seeing this play out, and it's similar, and it's frustrating. I say it's playing out over and over, and it's frustrating because it's so similar.
Yeah, it kind of what they can. It's basically kind of, what is it, 10 states or so, 7 to 10 states.
Well, it used to be 9 states, but it's not the usual 9. It used to be like the East Coast, all those states that love to hang out together and like hate freedom. But then California and like a little bit of Washington, Oregon, kind of back and forth playing around. Maybe a little bit of Colorado, but now it's definitely Colorado, definitely Washington, a little bit of Oregon, definitely New Mexico now. And sounds like a couple other states are being weird.
And you can see
what
on
top of all those ones that are historically horrible. And then Virginia is like, watch this, hold my beer. And then Massachusetts is just completely like, nobody gives a shit. I don't know why nobody gives a shit about Massachusetts. I guess the number of gun owners there doesn't count or like isn't significant enough, but it's crazy. I just happen to know what's going on in Massachusetts because of friends there, but it's crazy how much they're getting wailed on. Nobody cares. Like nobody in our community gives a shit. It's one of the reasons I'm less and less interested in what the 3-level organizations are doing. They're just allowing states to get wailed on under their watch.
Yeah, you can see what's getting passed in, one of the states then gets copy and pasted to the other states.
And that's not new. It's just that it didn't work back in the day as well. Now they're able to do it. And that's just annoying as hell. We don't have anybody who's like the old guard of anything, like activism or really anything. But the activism is what matters in this case, right? But like we've got some people that are working, and none of them are, except for the old people, none of them are old guard. And the people that are old are just watching the new people use the internet. Like they're not contributing to the new fight in any significant way because all their tools and strategies are either outmoded or not relevant anymore that we have. You know what I mean? Like what they would have used in the 80s with the telephones and shit, like just doesn't work anymore because nobody answers their phone. So like some of their tactics just be interesting for historically, but they're not going to work anymore. And the people that have the ability to deal with stuff today don't have the time on the clock to understand that this is one of the tactics used by the people that have all the money and have been doing this forever. They have the, what is that called? Like the institutional knowledge, because they're the same people. They don't shuffle, we shuffle through people because we're natural. They're engineered and paid for. So it's the same people probably. And if it's not the same people, whoever gets hired gets the same blueprint out of the file cabinet. So they're all using the same marching orders from what's his face, who spent a bunch of money and got paid back over the last couple of years.
One of the things also that happened in Washington, there would be these bills, they'd get pushed back and then they'd get shelved. But when they passed the 10-round limit, the magazine limit, there was huge pushback. The most comments made against a bill was that bill, and I forget how many. And the for and against, it was like 10 times against the number of comments. And the legislation here in Washington the Democrats have a super majority. They just started ignoring everybody and doing whatever they wanted because for them, there's no real consequence. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing now is they're just they're not afraid to do these because there's, even if there is pushback, they're still going to get reelected. So
And I think we're going to have to take a couple of kids kicks in the nuts or punches in the face or punches in the nose, whatever you want to call it. Because I don't see a resistance to it that's unified or useful, effective, or whatever the word is.
yeah. Let me say hello to. There's only a few people that have said anything so far. Two Live Moo was out there earlier. Grim Reaper Reviews. M. Gabriel. Gizzard Gary. Vulcan Rumble is here. TJ Fishing and Shooting. And TJ, I would like to apologize to you. Last week, I called the Bee Gees limeys. And they're not limeys. They're Australian. I do apologize. And G-Webs. I think that's everybody that said something so far.
I bitched earlier about not getting a gun in the photo, but that was like earlier this morning. I guess the comment disappeared.
Oh,
in the thumbnail, the dog doesn't got nothing. He just has like nothing. He doesn't get armor or nothing. Gizzard's got like armor and a spear gun and fishing equipment or like scuba equipment. The dog's just sitting there waiting to get thrown in the water. So I'm not as scared of that shark though. All you got to do for a shark is grab him by the gills and punch him in the eyes, and then you win because they give up.
I don't remember what prompt I used for bits on that one.
Oh, I assume you use the same one and just swap out like a chunk of the paragraph or something.
No.
Time.
No. Basically, the only parts that I'll reuse is a human-sized white mouse in sunglasses and a leather jacket, an anthropomorphic rooster, and then I'll change the clothing. Usually it's either tracksuit or this time it was scuba gear. And for bit, it'll be just kind of whatever I feel like. Sometimes it's a tuxedo. Sometimes I'll put tactical pug. It's anytime he's wearing gear, that's because I put tactical pug. And then sometimes I'll say with a shotgun or something like that. A human cowboy. Sometimes the AI won't make the cowboy human, so I have to specify human cowboy and hope it makes it a human cowboy. That's usually what I'll use, and then change it a little bit depending on what the picture is or just how I feel.
Like when I do the ask gun questions one with Tony, I just have like the prompt I use that in Adobe, and then I just change out like, are battling a shark or are in space or like, are race car drivers or something like that. So all I do is change like a piece and then hit refresh or whatever, and it gives me new stuff.
Yeah, this one I put human-sized white mouse, leather jacket, sunglasses in the movie Jaws, which
You're lucky they didn't make the shark glasses and the jacket.
That does happen sometimes. If I reference specific movies, sometimes it'll put the title in there. Like a couple of the pictures had Jaws, which I would prefer it didn't say that, but it's just a matter of as I'm, because usually when I do the make up the AI pictures, I'll do batches, for different. I think I did maybe about 10, enough pictures so I could do 10 intros. So sometimes I'll reprompt to fix it. Sometimes I'm just trying to churn through this, so I'll leave in, even though I prefer it wasn't.
Well, that's the thing. If you do the same prompt like 3 times, you'll often get like 3 totally different pictures.
Yeah. is I'll look to get 12 pictures per intro, because that'll with the logo and the static, and then the logo with the close-up on the end, 12 pictures at 5 seconds apiece will fill that center section in between those two, and then the total will be a minute. Sometimes if I only have, if I have less, then I'll just extend the length on the pictures, but I try to keep them about 5 to 7 seconds. So I get some variety in there, you're not on one shot for too long. Woods is out there. Good evening. Then I went through and did a batch of the AI musics.
I really like you're saying, the instrumentals. I like them.
Yeah, I was trying out ones with lyrics, but I really do prefer.
The lyrics seem all like the same. Like they come up with some weird, rock song and just kind of do that every time. I think they're not good at music yet. They're not good enough at music yet.
But I found a couple sites that let me do the free, basically the trial version. And so I think I did like 30 songs. Wood said he brought his CCW to this protest. It's allowed.
That's 3 days ago's outrage. We're totally outraged about different things now. I'm not even outraged about that anymore.
Yeah, so I use the AI, but I hate the AI. I don't trust it, but I'm using it.
Bah. AI is just a tool. That's like being scared of a car. Like, be scared of the driver. Be scared of like 1,000 cars or something. Be scared of robot cars, but like the car itself, it's just a thing.
The more I have
so much effort, like no AI is just gonna keep going. Like they'll die in moments after they're not monitored. So we're not at a point where we have free energy to where they can live.
I mean, the more educated I have about AI, the more I understand its limitations. It is not, when it first became big, it's not what everybody thought it was and feared it was. It's I think it's just the concept of what it could be is what I don't like.
Well, and I can understand like the idea that like if you make things like just like calculators were for our grandparents, like they hated that I would use a calculator and like be comfortable using a calculator in math for some reason, like, doing long division the hard way was important to them. And I think, they seen cars replace horses maybe, or whatever the hell they seen in their lives. Their lives went from we barely flew to we were on the moon, like our grandparents at least. So I can imagine they had some like skepticism about technology. But yeah, I think the what I'm more concerned about is the laziness, like the lack of authentic understanding that people are willing to, I don't know, trade, I guess, for the fast, probably right most of the time internet answer. I mean, if nothing, not only are we going to forget how to go outside and do shit, we're going to forget how, like, to research things, or like how to validate data, or tell truth from made up truth that's pretty close to truth because the robots made it. And that'll be, what I mean? Like, that'll be a skill that I think is frustrating. That will anyway, I think that's the bigger problem with AI. Not the fact that AI exists, but the fact that we're willing to use it as a crutch, and just as a society or culture, people, whatever we are, humanity, will lose a bunch of stuff while we're gaining a bunch of other stuff. So I don't know what the net gain is, but I can see the concern. And I'm not saying it's definitely not all perfect. whatever it is, right? You know what I mean? Whatever the future is, it's going to have some bad stuff in it too, I'm sure.
It's kind of ruining YouTube for me. Is there's so many AI videos now. Stuff where, it's like 10 interesting facts about, this movie. Well, a movie I like. I'm interested in finding out behind the scenes stuff. But you click on it, maybe you get the bad AI voice. There's some voices where you can't tell at first until they start mispronouncing words. And then they'll show like a picture from the movie, but then you start seeing pictures from other movies that aren't related to whatever they're talking about.
Or a completely made up movie that was never, or a picture that was never in any movie.
And now I'm seeing music videos or clips of artists, musicians that the clip is AI. You can tell it's not them, but they're using the real live vocals.
Oh, you mean for like a whole song, not just like a reference to like, and then Michael Jackson said this, and then have like Michael Jackson doing something from today, which he would have never been able to do because he was caught before all of it.
Like, it'll be like the Staying Alive from the Bee Gees. It'll be, a 30-second clip, and it's the actual music, but the video for it that it's showing is an AI version of them singing Staying Alive.
Like a way to get away from copyright, or just lazy?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's so easy to use AI. It's now not even like a choice as much as some people are going to consider it like a crutch that they can't do without. But I know I use it a lot, where I would have used Adobe back in the day to like draw something or cartoon something. Just because why would I want to wait half an hour to cartoon something when it could be moments with AI, and the result, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to use it for a thumbnail for a video. It's one of 1,000 videos, so it's not consequential. And if I was competing with other people, I would think also add to that, like, the other people are doing it in moments. I can't afford to spend 2 hours to handcraft something that everybody else is going to take 30 seconds on, in 2026. 3 years ago, I would have been unique having that kind of thumbnail, so it would have been worth the time invested. But today, when anybody can make any thumbnail they want, and whatever my product was very similar to AI, then there's just, you know what I mean? There's no way to justify the time unless you're really into it.
Woken
Like
Rebel said,
Barbecue, he's taking actual pictures. He could go to AI and say, give me pictures of kids wrestling or something, right? Whatever, and then have like, obviously it wouldn't be for the parents, but you know what I mean? Like, just to have, if he was like a reporter or something and was like going to report on the wrestling match, he could just get some generic picture of 2 kids wrestling and then put that up and report on the match all he wants, and no one's ever going to really know.
I started using it for a time saver because I would, I'd come home from work in the morning, do thumbnails, and it was just taking so long that I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And it's faster, easier, and it's not for, I'm not using it for court. It's just, a thumbnail for a video that probably about 100 people are going to watch. So that is definitely the time saving reason is why I started doing it. And I have used it now to do stickers. Partly for time saving, partly because it was able to give me stuff that I wouldn't be able to render myself very well.
Like kids are sitting in the chair, or like in the cars.
Yeah. And then the Whiskers in the Ruins, which I wish I had done 4-inch stickers instead of the 3-inch stickers, because it lost some of the detail. Like the kitten grenade it doesn't show up very well in the smaller sticker. The rich white.
I'm pretty sure the last thing on Earth you'd want to give a grenade to would be a kitten.
No, it's a grenade made out of kittens.
Oh.
That's what I don't know if you saw the sticker that Gary's giving away, but Rich is throwing. He's got a bandolier with kittens in it, and he's throwing a grenade made of kittens.
Huh.
Yeah, here, let me. There we go.
If you just stick it to the camera, it won't wiggle.
But yeah, in his hand, you can't quite see that they're kittens all bundled together.
Look, his logo.
Yeah,
That's
I put his
pretty
logo.
tiny. That's asking a lot. It's bigger than Gizzard's head.
Yeah, I really
Bigger
wish
than you.
now I would have done the 4-inch.
Gizzard. That's what she said. Gizzard is muted.
Oh, I don't know. Is there anything else going on that we need to know about that we should know about in the country? Anything?
I don't know. I'm not. Do you think that we're in trouble with the situation we're at right now? Like with kind of all the states you named off and the whatever, like the point in the legislation that we're at. Like it isn't like too many of these things. Well, some of them have happened, but a lot of them are in the process of happening. You know what I mean? Like there is still something to do, but I don't think I'm putting out any hope that even though there is time, that anything's going to be done with that time. But what do y'all think is, I guess, what I'm at?
I am not sure because, it's easy to get down because there's bad news and, especially being in Washington where the bad news happens. But, they are somewhat isolated to those few states. It's bad for those states, but it's not happening in every state. Not yet.
Well, it'd be pretty difficult for some of this shit to happen in other states besides, the set of 12 that it could ever happen in, I think. But you mean we're not seeing the cancer go to the oh, they can pass that? Let's pass that too. That kind of shit isn't happening yet. But that's about to happen.
There is a bill in Congress to ban online ammo sales. Right. Ammo sales.
Well,
that
really would solve everything when you think about it. Like seriously, that would wrap it up. Like we wouldn't even have violence or like any of the evil or nothing. Like that's really smart.
I think it's in that bill that it requires face-to-face transactions for ammunition.
At least the 9mm smut peddlers wouldn't be able to do their job anonymously like they do. A lot of the addicts get their shit from online, so they don't have to go to the store and ask for 9mm directly.
I don't believe it has any chance of going anywhere. It's just I don't like that it's being proposed because
I usually don't like gun laws, but I'm willing to accept this one with the compromise that it's only 9mm sales. Then I'm okay with
it. It's just it'll here in Washington there. A bunch of the bills that have been passed had been floating around and would come up, year to year, but wouldn't go anywhere. But they kept coming up year to year, and then they ended up going somewhere. That's the only reason I say that.
It's sort of like what's the word? Like they win sometimes in spite of themselves because the antis are gonna push stuff because they're gonna make points for their own side every time they say like we're gonna ban all guns. And what is it? I don't know if it's like necessarily a law or anything, but eventually, when we're not paying attention, all they got to do is come up and say ban all guns. And if we're not saying here's why don't do that, like it'll happen every once in a while where they will ban all guns.
Yeah. That's all I can remember that's going on. I did better. I wrote more notes, so because I'll try to immediately come out here, write it down on the whiteboard, which of course doesn't always happen. But
Yeah, the AI, you could just tell the AI to remind you, and then it would remind you.
I don't know. I don't even like text to speech. I don't like voice commands. I don't want to talk to my computers.
Man, that makes it so easy.
Wood said in 2025 there were 11,000 bills introduced, so I'm not worried. Yeah, like I said, I'm fairly certain it's not going to go anywhere. I don't know. Was there any other topics anybody wanted to talk about? Barbecue, Gary?
There's that missing woman that they've been looking for a week now.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about it. I haven't looked into it.
Oh, you mean the mom of somebody from Arizona?
Yes.
Just seems like kind of a weird thing.
Well, it's super specific, right? Like obviously somebody's messing with them or something.
They disabled her Ring camera before kidnapping her.
You'd have
like
to.
sometime earlier in that day.
But what about like everybody else in the area's Ring camera? Don't they have access to every Ring camera now?
Didn't catch it. The community doesn't like to have the street lights on at night.
Oh, then you know what? This is some kind of a massive scam to make people go, oh my goodness, I'm worried about my grandparents. Like, we need to get Ring cameras and turn all the lights on. We need to have all our Ring cameras all working together to stop people from stealing our grandparents.
Apparently
I'm worried about Gizzard. I don't know about you all.
the ransom notes are being sent to TMZ and like a news network.
Yeah, this is fake. This is to create like interest in Ring camera bullshit, it sounds like.
Supposedly this evening they were at the oldest daughter's house taking pictures and stuff like that. So I've heard some rumors that it could be kind of an inside job. So
it's kind of
isn't it always? It kind of has to be. To know the person's like routine to steal them or whatever, or to know that there's people that care about them. I mean, you kind of have to be intimate with that family to know that there's a play there.
Well, just the fact that somebody disabled the camera, but there's no video from the camera because the mom didn't pay for the storage, the video storage.
Yeah, and that's most people. That's why but the thing is, they don't pay for storage doesn't mean that it's not being stored necessarily.
Well, anybody who's ever had a Ring camera, my daughter had one. They're fairly easy to remove.
Yeah, they just pop off the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, but the idea would be that if you'd have video of the guy walking up to the thing before he knocked it off the wall, right? Like it's a camera, so you should have at least the last couple of moments should be the evidence or something. But not necessarily. I guess somebody could sneak up from the side and smack it off the wall or wear a mask or something.
Well, yeah, like I said, I haven't really looked into it, so I don't know too much about it. Just what I've heard other people say, but it's just seems odd.
I mean, does anything that has gotten to the national level when it's a kidnapping or something like that, has it ever not been some massive, turned into some kind of, once they figure it out, it's like the family did it type of thing. It was a murder, basically.
Lindbergh baby.
You're saying that wasn't that kind of thing?
Yeah.
I guess that's
Well,
true.
it wasn't.
I guess I'm saying
I
like
don't-
sometimes it comes. I shouldn't say sometimes. It seems like recently, I'm thinking of like the little kids that were like, "Oh, my kid
Yeah.
got stolen." It's like, "Oh yeah, or did you kill their little kid? What the hell?"
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know anything.
I've been
else about
watching
that.
Columbo all week, so it's going to be pretty difficult to make me convinced that somebody actually got kidnapped. Is all I'm saying. One more thing. I got one more question for you.
I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of Columbo. I've just seen clips of it.
Well, I
So-
don't watch it. I just, I have it running behind everything, and I'm looking up at it once in a while. And it's the cars and the clothes and the stores and the restaurants and stuff. I can't get enough. I mean, I like Rockford Falls, Quincy the same way. Like those 70s cars and stuff they're driving around.
When I was a kid, I loved Quincy.
And I mean, I know all the episodes already, so like I know them backwards
Well,
and forwards. There's no,
I
there's really
watched-
no plot that I'm watching anymore.
I watched a video about Columbo, and
Oh yeah,
I never knew that they show the murder at the beginning and who murdered him.
Uh-huh.
So the audience knows what happened, who did it and how, what happened, and then you're watching Columbo try and figure out what happened.
and some of them are like that, and some of them are not. Some of them you don't know until the end, and that kind of thing. I think Columbo, though, it's mostly him. Like it's all about him, and people just liked his whatever that Columbo guy's actor's role or whatever. But then whenever I'm watching these things, I'll watch, especially if I'm waiting for something to upload, or if I'm looking up at the screen because I got a couple of minutes before I have to do something again. That's when I like to maybe I'll see like a restaurant, or they'll pull into some place, and I'll like go to Google Maps and see if it still exists. So I kind of dig that, like seeing. Usually it's LA because these are all made in Hollywood, and they just were lazy and they went outside their whatever offices and just filmed in like the deli next door. And you kind of figure that out once you watch enough of these shows from the 70s. You're like, I've looked them up, so I'm like, oh, I know where this is. Like, oh, that's there's this neighborhood right around where they filmed at, whatever it is, Universal Studios or something, where I can recognize them all the time because they're just filming different angles of the same alley. Like they just were lazy as hell. They just went outside their offices and like set up and filmed. It was probably super easy, and everybody knew they were doing it, so they let them be. And probably people on the streets knew not to look at the cameras, so it was easy for them. But it's actually kind of weird that like so many shows are filmed in like the alleys right behind, right around there. Going back to like Beverly Hillbillies and stuff. I don't watch those shows, but whenever I'm watching the documentaries about the filming of those days, like they'll talk about like how many shows were filmed in this restaurant or something. And then the other thing I dig is the dogs, because Dobermans were the bad guys back in the 70s and 80s. So like it's pretty much the same group of 6 Dobermans that are like the bad guys whenever they decide to bring bad guy dogs into the show. It's like, oh, the dogs are back.
What's it? Adam 12. When I was a kid, I did like Adam 12 and Emergency.
Dude, when I was in Vegas, right, I went through my data, so I was watching TV, and I don't know what channel it was on because I was just watching TV. But Adam 12 has an episode. Oh, no. What's that one before it? Dragnet? I think it was Dragnet, where it's the 2 dudes and they talk funny.
Yeah.
Dragnet has an episode where there's a new cop on the beat. And then that's the thing where one Adam 12 is the rookie cop and the other cop. The rookie cop from one Adam 12 is on Dragnet, dude. I had no idea. Like, I didn't even know those shows touched each other in time or whatever. But they must have been on at the same time. I never knew that. It was
same production company.
Yeah. And there's just an episode, and I don't know if there was a couple of different shows that I learned about that they were offshoots because of that, watching cable that day, whatever must have been doing origin stories or something. Because I never even paid attention that One Adam 12 was a young cop and an old cop. I just thought it was a cop show. And then, like I said, I watched the thing and I'm like, oh, there's a rookie cop. And then they made a big point about how, in the first One Adam 12, like, oh, I'm a rookie cop and this is my first time in the beat and this is my first time in the car. I'm like, oh crap, this whole show's about this guy learning and teaching this other guy. Maybe that everybody knows that. I just never paid attention to it.
I didn't realize it either. It was just an older cop and a younger cop. I didn't think about it being a rookie cop
yeah, those first couple episodes, it's more like, hey, rookie, come on, keep up, and then they must have figured out real quick that was a stum dynamic and just made them more equal. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be.
Woods brings up Barney Miller, which I guess you hate.
I don't hate it. I just don't watch it as much.
It's
a sitcom with laugh track. That's why I can't. I'm pretty sure I don't like any shows with laugh tracks because now that I'm thinking about it more.
When I was a kid, I liked Barney Miller.
I did too. But it was when we were kids, like we didn't have any options. It was like, oh, Barney Miller instead of like Carol Burnett or something. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch Barney Miller. But when it's like Barney Miller versus anything in the world I want to watch, yeah, Barney Miller's not on the list.
I'm trying not to say there's anymore. So now I hear it when I say it. There is on YouTube, Barney Miller channel. I think it's Shout, who does a bunch of different channels, but it's 24-hour Barney Miller, but it'll be like 4 or 6 episodes that just repeat. And they'll have like multiple channels doing Barney Miller or Godzilla, stuff like that. I think they're the reason that I was gonna play last month. I was gonna do a watch party and do Fistful of Yen. But it would have gotten blocked.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody would dig it. I always think it's funny, but whenever I watched it with somebody, like they were always like, "Oh, this is not as funny as you're making it sound."
Well, yeah.
I mean, you got to really like Enter the Dragon, right? Is it Enter the Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Well, if you like Enter the Dragon and you like Airplane.
Okay, that's true. It really is. It's an Airplane version of Enter the Dragon. I never thought about that. But way wilder. Airplane was like made for movies, and this was made for like the R-rated or whatever movie.
It's the same people, Zucker and Zucker.
Oh, it is?
Zucker and Abram. Yeah.
Oh, but this had to be their first one or something because they were way more.
I think, yeah, I think it is early on. Yeah, I don't know. I still do like the murder mysteries, but I prefer the ones that aren't too serious. Not that aren't realistic crime dramas. I'm not into the murder porn. I used to like Ellery Queen mysteries. Ellery Queen was his character was a mystery writer, and his father was a police chief, so he would help him solve mysteries. And kind of near the end, he would look at the camera and say, "Can you figure this out? You know what's going on?" And there's a British show which I can never remember the name of it, but it was basically like a grandma who just decided to do a detective agency, and she hired a kid to help her. And the kid is the same guy that played Pippin on Lord of the Rings when he was young.
Who's Pippin?
One of
Is that one of
the
the orcs, or I mean the hobbits?
He played for the
Yeah.
Chicago Bulls.
no, not Scotty Pippen. Yeah, he was one of the hobbits. He's one of the two that when Frodo leaves, they're in the cornfield stealing vegetables from the farmer.
I feel like I'd recognize him as soon as I seen him, but it's not bringing anything up for me that way. I mean, I think I vaguely remember the scene you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember what his real name is. Woods brings up the Equalizer. I did like the Equalizer too. Edward Woodward is the Equalizer.
Have you seen the Equalizer movies?
No, I've seen clips of it, but I haven't watched it.
Totally different, and I like them. I never really liked the show too much. Then I seen the movies. Is it Denzel Washington in the movies? It's like they're totally different. It's not some guy from England. It's just some guy who's like a retired agent or something, and he's an American. But I watched those. I liked them, and then I went back and watched the TV show, and I liked it better after watching the movies, even though the movies were totally different, because I never paid attention that the Equalizer was like a secret agent guy, I guess. I thought he was just like a weird British version of the A-Team.
Timothy Hutton did a version of that. 10
When he was a
years
kid?
ago. No. This was like 10, 15 years ago at a show, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically the same format. You had one strong, one tough guy, a thief, a hacker.
Oh, I don't remember that part of the Equalizer. I thought the Equalizer was just one guy from England.
No. He had a team, but the team did all the work.
Well, I don't think I ever watched the Equalizer, though. Oh yeah, they could have been called something else for sure. Like except for like kind of the same concept, they weren't like, there was nothing touching the real TV show. But I think it's neat when somebody who's competent and retired decides to just like, do their trade or whatever to help people out and then not want nothing from it. I just think that's like a neat premise for a movie, especially when you're old, right?
I think he's talking to you, Gary.
Well, we're all old. We're all old.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You all
Say
are
it.
getting old. We are old.
Say again. I'm sorry.
He's saying you should start a detective agency so you can have exciting adventures.
The problem is there's no crime in
you-
Kansas. Everybody's just nice to each other there, and they don't do nothing to.
I do genealogy, which is pretty much kind of like detective work. So you're not that far off, really.
With less murders.
You know what that is,
everybody's
though?
already dead. That's nice.
No, that's like a, what do they call them? A Hallmark movie waiting to happen. You just need to have like a female character that shows up to your small town because she was working in the big city, and now she's looking to retire and find a beau. And then you can be doing your genealogy and discover like some kind of tombs or some sort of like book or something. And then you can fall in love at the end. It'll be ideal.
She walks into your office because she's trying to find out more about an ancestor.
I gotta learn more about my great-great-grandfather's book. Oh, you like cheese also? Or whatever you guys do in Kansas?
Jeez. Wow.
Grib says she has cats as well.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, I was watching interview with you guys have seen him. I think his name is Mike Vining. He's like one of the guys that started Delta Force back in the right after Vietnam and shit, and done all kinds of shit in the military. So the thing is, he looks like a regular dude. He looks like a science teacher or something. And when he has his uniform on, he has like a picture when he retired. He has like 1 billion medals and ribbons and shit, and like he's gone to every school. So he's got like it looks like he's got everything in a surplus store on this jacket, right? But he's like earned it all. Anyway, and he just looks like a science teacher grinning. So it's been like a meme or whatever. Anyway, there was like a 4-hour conversation with him on Mic Drop, the SEAL guy that interviews everybody. And it was a great conversation. But like the dude, he must be from Kansas, because I don't know if that's Gizzard is like a Kansas thing. And he's like, but what do you say now? Like, and that kind of stuff or whatever. Like the mannerisms or whatever you call, like the jargon. It was like, am I listening to Gizzard? I'm like, this is Gizzard. Like everything he was saying was like, he was not a different voice, right? Talking about different things. It's like, and what do you say? Like, and that's, and like that or something. Anyway, he kept saying that stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this has to be a Kansas thing. Like you guys had to grow up next to each other or something.
Probably. That's funny.
Oh, so let's take a look at this week's poll. So I almost forgot. Let me refresh it. So it was the best Valentine's gift. A card and flowers, jewelry, a special night out, or you don't need a special day to show you care. 62% said you don't need a special day. 21% said a special night out. 10% card and flowers. 8% said jewelry. And vocal rumbles. Oh, let me make sure we've got newest first. There we go. Chris Lang said, better do it all just to be safe. Sergeant Joe Smith, you can send me flowers. Brett Croson, somebody beat me to it, but yeah, if you don't want your ass chewed out, include all of them if you can. X Adam 1, I was waiting to see a brand new gun with a box of ammo, but I see this is for the ladies from experience. They all want that card and flowers, and it has to be delivered to a workplace or in front of friends so that other people can see that they will all say it doesn't matter, etc., but they're all lying. Boom, Stick. I have never bought a Valentine's gift, and don't put the toilet seat down either. Krabby Turtle, I tried the you don't need a special day to show you care once, but it was painful. The goddamn bacon, front row tickets to the Waffle House, allegedly. Ex-Bowman, everything's too expensive. I'm just going to make my wife something at home. Thomas William, I don't know. 51 years ago, I was working out of town and completely forgot about Valentine's Day, and it cost me a lifetime. Brooke Cheney, I thought for sure ammo would be one of the choices, but no. I do get that for my anniversary sometimes. CW, jewelry and chocolates, along with a home-cooked meal here. LW, the best gift I've ever given my wife was encouraging her to turn her hobby into a small business. It's never going to make money, but if she's happy and I get unlimited peace and quiet. Wish I could have thought of that 20 years ago. Rustic Rimfire, got my wife a new 9mm last year for Valentine's Day, thinking maybe a rifle this year. Vulcan Rumble said a baby. Mr. Bob Abelinas said girlfriend calls it Emotional Exploitation Day. I call it Bud Dave's birthday eve.
The Vulcan Rumble accomplishes the task, right? Lays back down. What does he say?
I don't know.
Sure, he's going to say something.
I was here.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is, but there's going to be something he said.
Yeah, I used to get for a while, every Valentine's Day, I'd get my wife a not a locket, but a gold chain with a heart. 1 year it was an emerald, 1 year a ruby, and after a few years, she's like, I can't wear all these, so I stopped buying those. Now I'll just get. There's a store that every Valentine's and Mother's Day they'll do chocolate covered strawberries, so I'll pick some of those up. But thank you to everybody that voted in their poll. Did we want to do a bracket?
You still do those?
From time to time, yes.
Just real quick though, I actually got a Valentine's card from my daughter today with a picture of the baby on it. So first Valentine's card I've gotten in years.
Outside of grade school, where when all the kids give all the kids, I don't think I've ever gotten a Valentine's Day card.
When you do your Valentine's Day episode, you'll get one in that episode, user.
I don't think I'm doing an episode. What day is Valentine's?
Oh, I meant the Hallmark movies.
Oh,
When you do that episode.
14th. Okay, that's a Saturday. Yeah.
Oh,
Fossil
somebody's
do
doing
one.
one.
Yep, Fossil do one.
Hillbilly will be doing one.
I would have done this poll next week. I was thinking that it was the 14th was during the week. So the chat would be after the 14th.
It's math.
Yeah. Well, my calendar still says January.
Oh, that's probably a part of it. Would it be better if all the months were exactly the same? All had whatever amount of days, like 30 days, 5-6 day weeks or whatever.
It'd be a little easier.
I think so. I don't know who came up with this dumb idea of having a bunch of goofy ones you have to remember.
Romans, I think.
Romans?
Yeah, we use a Roman calendar.
Well, but it's the planets, really.
So it's Julius Caesar.
They took a year and chopped it up. It's not like they, you know what I mean? Like they should have just said, screw it. Who cares when the moon's going around? Let's just have a year be 300 days for some reason. I bet you some civilizations said that. I mean, obviously the Romans won using the calendar, the moon. But
the lunar, they used to, at first they were tracking it by the moon, and then they decided, well, we'll figure out there's what a day is, and then how many days it takes to get around the sun.
Well, that's the thing. They started putting a stake in the ground with the sun, right? And they went, oh, it takes 365 before it comes back here. And wherever we put the stake, it always takes 365 to get back to that stake. So that must be where they figured out there's 365 and then started chopping that up. But they kept the day in there. That's what I'm saying. If I'm sure if it was an even number, sometimes the day would be, it's 6 a.m. and sometimes the day would be at 9 p.m. and shit probably, or something. It probably screws with the day or something.
Saturday Night Live, back in the 70s when there was the push to convert to metric, they did a skit. They did a couple skits. One was the Decabet. It combined all the letters of the alphabet in ways that there's only 10.
Nice.
And then there was one for time, and I think each day was like 100 hours.
This was what era of Saturday Night Live? First.
Yeah, like Chevy Chase.
That would
It
be
would have been
interesting.
fairly early on when they had the metric push. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'm gonna go look those up.
During the Ford administration, if I'm not mistaken.
Or wait, Saturday Night Live is one of those things where they police. Like they don't have a lot of those on YouTube, do they?
You could probably find it. I have a lunchbox, The Wonderful World of Metrics. I bought it
Is it
just I thought
Canadian?
it was funny. No, it's from the 70s. A metal
Well, for a
lunchbox.
while, they actually did dual signage on highways. They would have distances in miles and kilometers, but that lasted about a year and then they went away.
Yeah, the road between like Tucson and Mexico is still in kilometers. So, but not both, just kilometers. And it's some experiment, and it's weird.
So let's do a bracket. So the bracket is let me bring this up. The best Ron Popeil product.
Ooh, interesting.
So a lot of these are older. Well, most of them are older. The younger viewers might not know who Ron Popeil is from Ronco, but it's the kind of, he is one of the pioneers of the as seen on TV products.
Set it and forget it guy.
Yep. It's, if you want a novel idea that works 60% of the way it should, made as cheaply as possible, that's a as seen on TV product.
Probably the Pocket Fisherman is my top one.
But so I've got
those.
You can. I've got a video. There's a picture of the product and then a clip from the commercial or infomercial. So first one is the Rhinestone Stud Setter. It's kind of the old school bedazzler.
Insert
Sorry, first one is the bottle and jar cutter. I was looking at the video earlier. I forgot to reset it. Bottle and jar cutter. If you want to make glasses out of old bottles.
An exciting new way to recycle throwaway bottles and jars into decorative glassware, centerpieces, thousands of things. Emery cloth is included to make glasses drink.
The Buttoneer 2.
The new automatic Buttoneer 2. It attaches any kind of button instantly. Simply load your Buttoneer 2 with these fasteners. Put your button in place, then squeeze.
Caviar Natural Bait Kit.
Nice.
Bait costs less than messy worms or minnows. Popeil's caviar bait is made from freeze-dried fish eggs plus 35 other natural ingredients.
Why does it need 35 ingredients?
Natural ingredients, though, so it's all right.
Probably because caviar is
Like one of the
expensive.
9 cookie designs, and like magic,
this is just the cookie press.
4 dozen beautifully designed cookies in less than a minute.
The inside the shell egg scrambler. I think this is one of his
Here's
most
how it
popular
works.
products.
Just push the egg onto
This
the
saves me
motor-driven
so
needle,
much
and
time.
the egg scrambler automatically blends the egg white and yolk in less than 5 seconds, giving you a perfectly blended egg.
The GLH, a good-looking hair spray.
GLH means great-looking hair. Just spray GLH on, and it instantly covers your bald
I think this
spot,
is
leaving you with
the biggest
great-looking
seller he's
hair.
ever had.
And ladies with thinning hair.
Record vacuum.
78.
DJ's got a
The
bunch
new
of
record
these.
vacuum automatically vacuums away all the micro dust particles that distort sound and can damage your needle. It also eliminates static electricity.
The roller measure.
Snap.
No additional cost. Use it to measure floors without getting on your hands and knees. Measure ceilings without the use of a chair or ladder. It's fast and easy, and it's the only one.
Miracle Broom.
A new appliance that combines the electric power of a vacuum with the convenience of a broom. Miracle Broom helps clean up broken glass from kitchen and bathroom floors, food crumbs on tablecloths.
Smokeless ashtray.
There you go.
Does smoke irritate your eyes? Now put an end to this unpleasantness with the amazing new smokeless ashtray by Ronco. The specially designed vacuum system of this incredible smokeless
Mr. Microphone.
Oh, snap. I forgot about Mr. Microphone.
Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
I'm doubting that.
No, that's the best part because she's rehearsing in front of a whole group of people. That was like,
It
why is she
frosts all
rehearsing?
kinds of glasses. Just press the lever and frost glasses for mixed drinks, for soft drinks, for wine glasses or dessert glasses.
The Chopomatic.
Holy goodness.
Called Shop-O-Matic. The secret of this remarkable
This is a young
machine
Ron
is
Popeil.
every time I tap on the knob, the blades rotate automatically. That's what makes Shop-O-Matic.
Pocket Fisherman.
Handle is its own mini tackle box. Flip up the special DuPont nylon rod and you're ready to fish anytime. Even catch big ones like this with heavy test line and your favorite lure and shock.
Showtime Rotisserie.
I'll slide it back.
And
I'll bring up the window.
And you set it and...
That's all you have.
And the Rhinestone and Stud Setter.
Insert a stud or rhinestone and push gently. It works so easily that anyone can stylize jeans, jackets, shirts, pants.
Oh, that's the pants I'm wearing right now. How ironic.
Are there any questions on any of those products?
Did you own any of them?
We did have one of the bottle cutters, but I don't think it was a Ronco one.
Yeah, same here. We had one.
Different brand. When I was a kid.
I got a roller measure. I've had choppers. Got a bunch of this stuff.
I don't recall having any of the other ones. But I've always been fascinated by the sales pitch in infomercials. I love to listen to them just to hear how they say what they're saying and what they say. I don't know. For me, it's always just been fascinating.
The rule of thumb on this, anybody who stays up till 2 o'clock in the morning will probably buy just about anything.
Yeah, they're definitely
No problem.
susceptible, right?
You got very little sales resistance at that point.
So I don't know.
QVC was so popular.
Barbecue still awake? He hadn't said anything in a while, so he might have dozed off.
I forgot he was here.
He just comes in to ruin it.
Well, he's not doing a very good job.
He's ruining it by not being here.
Well, if he wakes up, then he can vote in these things. So, let me shuffle these. All that good. So our first matchup is the bottle cutter against the roller measure. G-Webs.
I got a roller measure. They're chunky. They don't work. And my grandpa used to cut bottles all the time, but he didn't have that one either. He just made a thing. But I think the bottle thing is clever and a way to recycle bottles. We don't really use bottles as much, but jars and stuff.
Gizzard.
Barbecue.
Well, I'm going to go for the bottle cutter because, like I said before, I actually had one. And like you said, it wasn't a Ronco, but I had a lot of fun with that thing.
Yeah, super easy.
Mm-hmm.
And some like booze comes in interesting shaped bottles. Like it turns into good vases or whatever you call that, like jars.
The roller measure, it's kind of funny. In the commercial, they show them measuring for a pattern for clothing, but he's just kind of all over the place as he's going around the outline. So it's not going to be very accurate. But I'm going to go bottle cutter too.
The roller measure sounds like a good idea, but it's not very accurate. It's kind of junky.
Well, that's kind of all as seen on TV products. It sounds like a good idea.
The Pocket Fisherman is fairly decent.
I've
the
never
Mr. Microphone worked. You ever have one?
But for what you pay for a Pocket Fisherman, you can pretty much buy a starter rod and reel.
Yeah, I was a little kid. I don't know how much this stuff cost. Was it like $19?
Probably about that.
I mean, that was more money back then, but yeah, I think everything was like $19, right?
But wait, if you order now, you can get a Pocket.
But wait, there's more. I watched a show about the infomercials and stuff like that, and they talked about but wait, there's more, and like putting the countdown timer to make it seem more pressing. You have to order it now before the timer runs out, but that timer is on every single commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So Chop-O-Matic or the smokeless ashtray. G-Webs.
Smokeless ashtray for sure, even though it doesn't work, and Chop-O-Matic is a pretty decent thing.
And these are Ronco products, but he didn't design all of these. Each one will have a little tweak to make it his own, but some of them are his own designs, and then some are, have just been around forever and get copied. Gizzard.
Well, I don't smoke, so the novelty of a smokeless ashtray is kind of lost to me. I could use the Chop-O-Matic every once in a while, I suppose.
You could use it as an incense burner. It just doesn't. It's kind of defeats the purpose is all.
Well, that's true, but I've got those oil scent things, those plug-ins. I got the Glade plug-ins in my house because I have cat.
George just looked and gave Gizzard a side eye.
In the movie Gremlins, the dad that buys the gremlin, he sells this stuff, and one of the things he sells is a smokeless ashtray, which I think it doesn't work in the movie, if I remember. But I remember him.
Does he sell it, or he's an inventor trying to sell it?
He might be an inventor, but he's a salesman because he's on the road.
Okay.
And one of the things was a smokeless ashtray. TJ said it's smokeless, but we'll catch on.
I mean, that would have been a thing, when I was growing up, at least. I mean, guys, when we're all growing up, like, it's not so much a thing now, but like everybody had a cigarette in their hand almost constantly all the time.
Both my parents smoked, yeah.
And I mean, while you're just sitting there at home, they'd be smoking. Like, everybody was just constantly smoking until they figured out, like, oh, this is not a good idea, I guess.
Oh, yeah. You had the big ashtray on the coffee table in the living room. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to go Chop-O-Matic. What I remember when I was a kid, my dad had a cigarette dispenser. It was a donkey, and you loaded the cigarettes in the back, and you lifted the tail, and it basically pooped out a cigarette.
Oh no, I thought you were going to say, like, my grandma had a thing where you'd put a carton of cigarettes in it, and you'd go and you'd pick the thing off the bottom, kind of like an upside down Pez. You'd take one out, and they'd all fall down. So there was, like, for a time there when everybody smoked, there'd be like 3 cartons of cigarettes in the closet, and you could just go grab a pack, whatever flavor that whoever's it was. It was crazy. And you wouldn't even, as a kid, you wouldn't even need to go steal a pack of cigarettes because everybody just left packs of cigarettes laying around all the time. You could just pick up a cigarette whenever you wanted a cigarette. And I guess when you're a little kid, they'd say stop it. But after a while, like, I don't think anybody even cared if you were smoking a cigarette back in those days.
Well, my dad cared, and he caught one of my sisters smoking. kind of made her smoke the pack and then eat all the ashes out of the ashtray and lick it clean.
Ooh, that's too much. Because I was going to say smoking the pack, that was a thing. But I bet you that just made a bunch of people addicts, right? Like, oh man, now I have a
Well, yeah,
flavor
it didn't
or
stop her
taste
from
for this.
smoking. So the pocket fisherman against the record vacuum. G-Webs.
No, the pocket fisherman. No, he needs a record vacuum except DJ.
Gizzard.
Definitely want the pocket fisherman.
Pocket fisherman. Yeah, I'm gonna go pocket fisherman. I still think about, because you can buy like little extending fishing rods with tiny little reels, and I've every now and again I'll think about buying one just to keep in the car in case I ever want to stop and go fishing.
Yeah, at a place like where you're at, I could see it. Or maybe like you get a flat tire or something where you're stuck on side road till a tow truck shows up and it's going to be 3 hours, but there's a river right there. Like, and it's
Well,
hey,
like that time, G-Webs, you had your van parked pretty close to the ocean. A few hours there, you could have just got out and caught a marlin or something like that, you know.
Oh yeah, I'd be worried about catching too big a fish, right? And then having to figure out how to eat it.
That's true.
There was years ago, I saw a video of a guy stuck in a traffic jam where everybody's gets out of the car and stands around. Well, he got out of his car, grabbed his fishing pole, and went over and caught some fish. So Mr. Microphone versus the Glass Froster. G-Webs.
Mr. Microphone is awesome. The commercial is even better. And the Froster is, I'm pretty sure, just squirting Freon into your glass.
Yeah.
So that's got to be poisonous and gross as hell.
When I was looking for pictures, one of the labels you could see it talked about fluorocarbons.
That's so gross.
And it wasn't the fluorocarbons are dangerous. It just mentions fluorocarbons.
Yeah, like you're going to be eating a lot of fluorocarbons with this. The flavor your flavor that you're tasting is fluorocarbons in your drink. You're welcome.
Is basically you can do this with the canned air, for computer cleaning. You just turn it upside down.
Yeah, and that's going to last, like, if you're lucky, as you bring it back over to the table and set it down. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to go away so fast. It's so dumb.
We used to take those cans of air and turn them upside down and then squirt it on somebody's butt as they were walking by and stuff like that. Because it would take about 2 or 3 seconds before they'd feel it. And of course, it goes away after a few seconds. It totally evaporates, so you can't even tell you did it. It really pisses people off when you do that.
Squirt them with the Freon so they're cold and they run over and sit in the reactor to get warmed up again.
Yeah.
Gizzard.
I gotta go with Mr. Microphone. I mean, how cool would that be to pull up to a hot chick and say, "Hey there, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later." When you got a whole full car, there were 6 people in this car. Where are they gonna? Was he gonna go dump some of these people so he can go back and pick her up?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, you're next. Hold on.
The chick sits on your lap.
I guess.
Have you never done that?
Never done that.
Oh.
Never had a convertible either, but
you have to be careful though, because I have had there's a girl sitting on my lap with long hair, and I sucked her hair down my throat. I breathed in and it sucked in the hair. And you feel it go down your throat. It's not fun.
I had a girl on my lap, but the car wasn't moving. Oh, you're talking about something else entirely. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Mr. Microphone. So now the cookie machine, which is just a cookie press. I think it's a battery-powered cookie press against the Button-Ear 2.
Well, it kind of has to be, or at least it makes sense to be, because cookie dough isn't like toothpaste where you're just squishing it. You know what I mean? Like it's
there are manual cookie presses. Some will have a trigger, some will just be like a huge syringe, and you push it. It's just kind of sugar cookie dough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You'd be limited to your dough if you had to like rely on the person's strength and coordination and dexterity and all that. But if you battery powered it, now it can be like a variety, and chocolate chips can go push through there. So I could see that being an innovation, or like an improvement on the concept. But I could also see like a crank or something that uses leverage and mechanical advantage or whatever for a little lady to crank out cookies. But anyway, those things have been around. Like I see them at the bin stores all the time. So I don't know if that was his deal or not, or maybe that's just been around since the beginning of time, because they're not much different than a bag with the tip on it, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's been around forever. What was it though? The cookie thing versus what?
The buttoneer that basically attaches your buttons.
That's still around too. So I don't know if he invented that or if that's just been around forever, but in a different format, a little bit different format that exists today. So, and it is actually a pretty useful thing if you don't have one. If you can get one for like $1, it's worth getting one of those button things. So, because they're useful for like about 8 different little tasks with clothes and stuff. And then the cookie machine is stupid I don't make cookies, so what do I need it for? So I'm going to go with the button thing.
Buttoneer. Gary.
I also think people that make cookies probably aren't looking for like a way for a machine to be part of the deal. You know what I mean? Like their whole thing is they like using spoons and poking their fingers in it because their grandmas like they want to love every cookie.
They used to have these cookie cutter things that were basically just kind of pieces of sheet metal that were in a pattern, and you just pressed it over the dough and
they still
cut
have
it
that.
into shapes.
Like a biscuit cutter, except in a shape.
Kind of, yeah, along those lines. But as far as buttons go, gosh, I know how to sew on a button. And very few of the shirts I wear mostly t-shirts now, so I hardly ever have any that have buttons on them. So, and I kind of have a thing like the cookie machine, except it's to make beef jerky, and you put your hamburger meat and stuff in this tube. It's kind of like a caulking gun almost. And you can make like the strips and stuff. I want the cookie machine.
Cookie machine. I'm also going to go cookie machine.
Oh, snap.
I've used it, when I was a kid, I remember using it to make cookies. And I have thought about getting a cookie press again. But I don't make cookies enough to justify it.
Save money and buy a Play-Doh extruder.
Good.
The barber one, so you can make cookie hair. So now I
wonder what would happen if you did take chocolate chip cookie stuff and stick it through like a bigger deal of that. Would that make cookie spaghetti?
I don't know.
It would actually be good, I bet, because it would be all crunchy. Depending on how long you cooked it. That's actually interesting. You'd have to do it with something without chocolate chips, I guess. A lesser
Probably should.
Like
chocolate chip spaghetti might be gross.
But peanut butter or something you could probably do it with, or sugar cookie. And then you could put some kind of frosting spaghetti sauce on it. I wonder if that's been done. We might have invented something right now.
So in the egg scrambler or the stud setter? Gee whiz.
TJ heard us. He's gonna go to invent an Australian version of the cookie spaghetti, and we're gonna get screwed out of the invention internationally. Sorry, what was the egg scrambler? Which is, think about the technology where they made a clear egg with a yolk and a white part inside of a clear egg. How's that even happen? And then they scrambled it. And then what's the other one?
The stud setter. It's a bedazzler.
The bedangler or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody likes a good bedangling, but I'm gonna go with the egg thing because it's weird. And who the hell knows?
That's what
one scrambled
watching.
Egg? Like, I wish I had just one scrambled egg, and it's so difficult to crack the egg into a bowl and scramble it. Oh man, I wish there was a way to scramble one egg. Like, it made no sense.
I don't know. I don't know. You can't tell how they made that clear egg and got the egg inside of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's impossible. Like, I guess you take a clear Easter egg and you just hold it so that the seam is invisible to the camera. Like, you know what I mean? Like around the edges or something. So you're only looking through the sides. But I've never seen a clear plastic egg. Not back in those days. Although that would be kind of cool. They should make clear plastic eggs, and then you'd see the candy. Well, no, you wouldn't even know it's an egg. It might as well be a circle at that point.
Gizzard.
I'm going to have to go with the egg scrambler, too.
Uh-oh. I may have.
I think you just cleared the bracket, dude.
Oh, God.
Unprecedented.
And we're done.
Unprecedented.
Oh.
What did you do? Click one of the buttons up top?
If you hit back, will it take you back to it?
I might have accidentally hit back when I was trying to
Oh.
click something.
And when you hit forward, it's blank.
Yeah, when I went back to it, it's.
Well, potentially you could go about 5 minutes back, take a screen capture, take that image and put it up on the screen, and you'd have it. You just wouldn't be able to do the whole bracket thing anymore. You'd have to do it manually.
I've got the YouTube running. I could go back.
I can get you a screenshot real easy. I can't read any of them though. It was the egg scrambler and then the Miracles broom versus the shredder real estate, and then the carrier rat versus a BLT. My glasses might be going out on this.
Yeah. So,
we
Gary,
could just say which would you?
If you can give me the winners of the first rounds and then the ones that we haven't voted, that'll save some time, so I don't have to fill out everything.
Okay, so in the second round, let's see. You have bottle cutter versus. I've got a screenshot if you want that.
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I just took one, so.
Oh, I can send an image. I never done that before. I'm going to do this just to test it.
Image file. There you go.
Oh, I can't. I think I can get it from that. So bottle cutter. I apologize to everybody. I don't know what I did.
I sent a file. I don't know if that's different than what Gizzard sent.
Looks about the same.
Okay. I never noticed that you could send just a file. I always share the screen.
Chapel-Matic. Pocket Fisherman.
Mr. Microphone.
Mr. Microphone.
And we were doing cookie cutter versus buttweed.
Now that the buttoneer too, and that cookie machine won that. We were doing egg scrambler versus stud setter, and the egg scrambler got the first two votes. So I think that's already settled.
Yeah, the egg scrambler is going to move on.
Somehow is the barbecue's fault. He ruined it.
So we've got the Miracle Broom for the Showtime rotisserie.
Miracle Broom. Showtime. I'm just going to put Showtime.
And caviar bait, I guess it is, in GLH.
Did you have a Showtime rotisserie?
That's the Showtime rotisserie. Showtime.
No, but I'm saying in real life, did any of you guys have
Oh,
one?
I didn't have the Ronco, but I had a toaster oven with a rotisserie, and it was awesome to cook chickens on. I loved it, but it was a pain in the ass to clean it. The rotisserie parts, it just got to be such a pain to get that clean. I quit using it.
And it's not like the kind of thing like some barbecue stuff where you can just leave it be gross. Like it's a danger. It's like going to catch fire or something if you leave it gross.
Well, it's chicken. I wouldn't want to leave it. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like it would.
I just remember when you watched the Osbournes back when Ozzy had his show on MTV or whatever, the Osbourne family, they had a great big one in their kitchen.
But a different brand. You're not saying like a Ronco one.
I don't remember because that's a long time ago.
There is the Ronco Professional, which is their largest.
I think
basically
it was a
XL model.
Ronco. Yeah. It may have
But
been a branding thing.
Well, I could see Ozzy Osbourne or somebody rich like that who sees something on TV. What do they give a crap how much it costs? They're just going to buy it, right? Even if it's dumb. Like, they got the money to just buy whatever they want.
But, just basically salt, pepper, and paprika. That's all I put on it. It always came out good.
That's a feature on modern air fryers and toaster ovens that's like, makes it more expensive, but obviously makes it bigger too.
Now everybody cooks with air fryers. So.
Yeah. But there's probably air fryers that, spin the food in there like a chicken like that. I imagine you could stick like a squirrel.
Really, if you've got a big enough one, you really don't have to because you got the circulation. It's gonna uniformly cook it. But convection ovens actually have existed for years, so
I see what you mean.
It's not exactly a new concept.
I thought part of the making something roll on a spit was to keep the juices in the critter, though, instead of all just dripping out one end.
Well, and you get even heating.
Well, but Gizzard's saying the air fryer provides the even heating part. But I'm thinking,
in theory, if you have it suspended, yeah.
So Miracle Broom or Showtime Rotisserie?
Oh, that's smart. You just started a new one. That's good. Oh, me? Miracle Broom was a ripoff. What was the other one? The rotisserie? I never eat chicken, so that's a tough one for me. I guess I'll go with the broom, even though it was a joke. It was a ripoff. Even today, those things are pretty junky, even with the crazy good motors they have. The filter concept on these things is still just junk.
In the commercial, it sounds like a pair of clippers, electric clippers.
And you can kind of tell from that one where he moves the coffee grounds off the couch that he's really just pushing them off the couch. Like he's not vacuuming shit.
Gizzard.
I love rotisserie chicken, so I want the Showtime.
Showtime.
Figure you could shove a rabbit in there or like a squirrel or something, right? Like anything that size would fit in there and cook too.
You G-Webs, you did say Showtime.
No. No.
Oh, you said. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 1-1 right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Showtime Rotisserie. Rotisserie chicken is good, and he said, Ron Popeil said he got the idea from the Costco rotisserie chickens. They saw how popular they were.
I thought that thing was way before Costco.
No, he did design his rotisserie, because I forget how many prototypes he made before he came up with the final design. I watched a show talking about Popeil and kind of his history, and when he was talking about his rotisserie, he showed all of the prototypes sitting next to each other.
Was this like a YouTube thing or like a real movie?
No, it was a real TV show, like A&E or something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, a while ago or new?
No, this would have been 15, 20 years ago.
I dig watching stuff about businesses, especially stuff like that, where it's like a unique one that everybody knows about.
So the caviar bait with 36, including the fish eggs, natural ingredients, against the GLH, the good or great looking hair, spray on hair. G-Webs.
The hair is so weird, and the bait is also so odd. I could see the ingredients though, like sort of like saying like the Coca-Cola or the Kentucky Fried Chicken like secret recipe, Maybe he's going for that angle. Like, it's not just fish eggs because we also added all this extra stuff. But it looked like putty or something, right? It looked like gross silly putty or something made out of eggs. So anyway, I'm going with that because the hairspray, come on. It was literally paint, right? It was like a dust paint.
Yeah, basically it just thickened what hair you had to
It was
fill
like a
in
dry
the.
paint or something though. It like came out and it would like harden after a while and stay on your hair, but for like a minute you could just like put your hand in there and it would come right off. It was just weird.
Gizzard.
Well, if you already bought the Pocket Fisherman, you're going to have something for bait. And you could throw both of these in your glove box. You could imagine carrying caviar bait in your glove box. Hope it don't get too hot in there. So I won't smell. But
What you have to you have to mix it with water. It comes as a powder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that worked great. Yeah.
This is the worst
Caviar
Kool-Aid I've
bait.
ever drank.
Yeah. Hope you remember what's in that drawer.
Yeah, what
Don't
flavor
lose
is
the
this?
label.
This is a fish flavor.
It's fish egg flavor.
So are you going caviar bait?
Yes. 100%.
I'd be worried
Yeah.
that if you started using caviar bait, the fish would get all, real fancy and they'd expect caviar bait all the time.
I'm gonna go caviar bait.
Like they
In
wouldn't
the-
get on hot dogs anymore because it's too low brow.
In the kit, it also has a little thing that'll shape the bait and so you put the hook in the little, you can kind of see it in the picture. There's a little red, look almost like a large
Like a
USB.
jig.
And it would press it onto the hook. So
Like a
you
jig.
got a little, yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. I don't remember that thing existing. It had to be after the Pocket Fisherman, is like Gizzard saying, like a supplement. Huh?
So now
It's
the
probably smart
bottle,
enough to go. Everybody already bought a Pocket Fisherman. How do we sell them something again? They already are willing to buy from me. Like, what can I sell them over and over and over?
bottle cutter versus the Chopomatic G-Webs.
Bottle cutter. I still like the idea of having, the recycling handy to everybody.
Gizzard.
I mean, you could use a Chop-O-Matic to chop up the fish after you catch them, but it's going to make a mess. So I'm going to go with bottle cutter.
Bottle cutter.
Ceviche.
I'm going to go Chopomatic, but the bottle cutter is going to move on. So now the
As
Pocket
long as you
Fisherman.
clean it right away, like that thing is not that bad. The
Well, those
chopper.
SNL did do a skit about the Ronco Fishermatic.
The Bassomatic.
Basomatic, that's it.
Yeah, it was like Bassomatic.
It's a blender.
2000 or- yeah. That's good bass. Yeah, the Chopomatic, there was a competitor, more recent competitor, that it splits open in two so you can clean it. 'Cause that's one of the problems with the original ones is you can't really clean inside of it. So any food that migrates up into it are stuck in there. And I forget what the guy's name is that did the commercial for that one, the Slap Chop.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
What was his name?
It was like square instead of round, right? Or it was like a
Vince.
Tupperware
Vince
box.
Offer.
Yeah, he got in trouble because he hired a prostitute and can't remember if like he didn't want to pay, and I don't remember if he bit her on the lip or she bit him on the lip, but he went to jail over it.
Well, a lot of times
Yeah.
prostitutes want you to pay for everything, and that's unreasonable sometimes.
She wouldn't take Chopomatics in trade.
Or ShamWows.
Yeah. And then that started a beef between him and Billy Mays, because Billy Mays was hawking the, I don't know if it was Slap-O-Matic or there's another name. But Vince trashes their product in his video, and that starts a beef with Billy Mays.
Snap. I didn't know all this was happening. Is this all during the 90s?
2000s, because there was a TV show with Billy Mays, and there's is he British?
Who was setting fires to cars? That was still, what's his name? Ronco, right? Like with Vinyl-Matic or something, like, and he was setting fires to cars back in the old days. This was, or was one of those ShamWow guys lighting fires on cars? Or no, Billy. Man, I remember somebody lighting the cars on fire. Like that was a big thing.
Well, there was a polish, a car polish, and then they set that on fire to show that it, I don't know, whatever BS. But I can't remember who the guy with Billy is. But they had a TV show that showed them marketing as seen on TV products. Pitchmen, I think it was called Pitchmen.
Oh, like a reality TV show where they're following them.
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Anthony. The other guy is Anthony something. And I guess Anthony is the guy that kind of brought Billy into doing as seen on TV products. Because Billy always wore a blue shirt, and so did Anthony. And in one episode, Anthony, they get in some tiff, and Anthony tells him, "Hey, I'm the one that gave you your first blue shirt." And then Billy Mays died I can't remember if he died while the show was, not on the show, but or if it was after, because I don't think the show lasted very long. I don't remember if it was because he died or he died after the show was canceled. But back to the bracket: Pocket Fisherman or Mr. Microphone?
Who's me?
Yeah, yes. You.
Man, you probably get more use out of a Pocket Fisherman, but that's a tough one because Mr. Microphone is pretty awesome. What I would do is if I missed catching a fish, I would say, "Hey, good luck, and be back to pick you up later," and then I would kind of satisfy both.
So I played that part of the commercial just for you.
Dude, I say that all the time, and I know that it's got to be creeping people out because nobody knows that commercial. And I say it way too often. I also say, "Move over, bacon. There's something leaner," and nobody knows what I'm talking about. I can say it now because of the dog. You know what I mean? Because I was sitting in my seat. But I used to say, I've been saying that my whole life, and people don't. I mean, for a while, people knew what I was saying, and then people are like, "That's a weird guy who talks about bacon."
So you go on Pocket Fisherman or Mr. Microphone?
Oh, I went with Pocket Fisherman. I went with practicality.
Pocket Fisherman. Gizzard.
Well, if you have the Pocket Fisherman, you don't have to worry about picking up chicks because they just get in the way anyway. So Pocket Fisherman.
Plus, you don't need chicks because you got a Pocket Fisherman.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to go Pocket Fisherman. I'd much rather go.
Oh, I apologize. I talked too much bacon talk. Woke him up in the middle of the night. I had to start peeing.
The goddamn bacon is out there. So the cookie machine against the egg scrambler. Gee webs.
Oh, there's a joke in there somewhere. I guess the egg scrambler still. This is an interesting one because you guys definitely have different takes on these things. I think these are all too old for barbecue anyway, right?
Probably. All except maybe the rotisserie. Gizzard.
Egg scrambler.
Egg scrambler. Well, my vote doesn't really matter, but I don't know, this is kind of tough because I do enjoy cookies very much. but I also very much enjoy eggs. I prefer over easy, but I also like scrambled. Ooh.
I have an egg scrambler at my house. It's called a fork.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how often are you like, if only I had one scrambled egg?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
guess
go.
if you're like feeding a dog or a baby, don't know. Can you give babies eggs? I don't know.
I don't know, but if you found a chick dumb enough to let you pick her up in the Mr. Microphone commercial, she'd probably be impressed by the egg scrambler. So, yeah.
That's a good point. Dude, any chick would dig it if you drove up in a convertible and went really loud with your radio. Hey, good looking.
You want
What
to
if
come to
you
my house and play with my egg scrambler?
You drive up to a chick and then you start shooting cookies.
Yeah, every chick likes cookies. They like to eat.
She said, "Do you expect me to cook?"
So the Showtime rotisserie against the caviar bait. G-Webs.
Oh, I'm going with the bait. I don't like that chicken thing.
Bait. Gizzard.
I want the rotisserie.
Rotisserie.
Whenever that rotisserie came out, I can remember watching those commercials and just, seeing everyone 3 or 4 sessions later, like shoving that thing into the corner of whatever part of their kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, I could just tell. I was old enough to know, like, this is, what do they call it? Obsolescence, like purchased obsolescence here. It's like a novelty, and then people are going to be like, wait a minute, I can just go to Price Club or whatever.
It's kind of like a pasta maker. I owned a pasta maker at one time, and the amount of mess and
Yeah.
everything you have to go through to make pasta versus you could just go to the store and buy it.
Or, the
that
other
was
one, juicer.
that
Same
was
thing. Horrible mess.
the list I had. I probably had 20, 25, and the Ronco pasta maker was on that list. I had a clip for it, and then when I made my final list, it didn't make the cut.
Oh, I forgot about that too. And it was like super complicated, wasn't it? Like, all you got to do is do this and this and this and this and this, and then shove it into in this and this and this, and then you got pasta.
But I'm gonna go with the rotisserie.
Kind of like a bread machine. I had one of those too.
We have one of those. My wife
Those
used to
make more sense though, right? Like, that's just saving your oven from working.
Wife used to make bread. What? You throw it in the oven after you make it. The bread machine just mixes.
Mine you did.
Oh, I thought they
No,
were.
it did the
Oh,
baking
really?
and everything, right? Yeah.
I
Right
thought
on
they
the
were like a crock
countertop.
pot. Yeah, like you walked away and came back and there was bread in it.
Oh, maybe it does. I was thinking it went in the oven. Because I just remember the little paddle that does the mixing. You can either bake the bread and then remove it later, or try and remove it before it bakes.
Snap.
You don't want to eat it.
But my wife used to basically make a loaf every weekend, and it was really nice because then the house always smelled like fresh baked bread.
There was no way I was ever going to have a robot make bread. My grandma was Italian, or made Italian food at least. So there's no freaking way I'm eating anybody else's bread. You know what I mean? Or some robot's bread.
So now the bottle cutter versus the pocket fisherman. G-Webs.
Pocket fisherman. Recycle the fish instead of the bottles, I guess.
Pocket fisherman. Gary.
Well, you teach a man to fish and he'll live for a lifetime. Give me the fisherman.
Yeah.
Fisherman. I too will go pocket fisherman. I enjoy fishing much more than cutting bottles.
Could you cook a fish in the Showtime rotisserie? I don't know if you could or not.
Dude, I bet you could. 3 fish.
Why not?
You know what I mean? 1 on each thing. I suppose 1. It's not like they're that heavy that it would break it or anything.
They're lighter than a chicken.
Yeah. And if it was a big fish, you would make the fillet or whatever and wrap it, like around. So yeah, I bet you could even put like a big salmon fillet in there, I bet. Actually, that'd be pretty good now that you're saying that. Put a big giant salmon fillet in that thing and whatever spices and cooking that thing up. Damn gizzard.
So now the egg scrambler versus the rotisserie. G-Webs.
So one end of the chicken or the other? We go with the baby end of the chicken. They're easier to catch.
Gizzard.
I'm going for the rotisserie.
Rotisserie. Yeah, I'm gonna go rotisserie too. Oop. So
You
our
guys like
final
eating chicken. Like I've never liked eating chicken. That's like the least appealing thing for me to eat.
The final is the pocket fisherman versus the Showtime rotisserie barbecue.
He wakes up.
Good luck.
G-Webs.
Fisherman for sure.
Fisherman.
Is this tough for you guys now, though?
Not really. Gizzard.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go with the rotisserie.
Rotisserie.
I don't know where I'd put it, but with my limited counter space, but
like I said, when I had the rotisserie in the toaster oven, it made good chicken, and I really enjoyed eating the chicken. But I'd rather go fishing. I'm gonna go pocket fisherman.
Oh snap! I thought you both were going to default to the chicken.
actually, I want both so I can try cooking them fish in there.
Yeah.
Well,
Seriously.
Gary's contractually obligated to vote chicken. Whenever
Oh,
it's
that's a
an
good
option.
point.
Sure.
Or Noah, you actually should be opposed to the whole chicken cooking thing. There's no chicken cookers.
I'm literally named after a chicken dish. So
He'll take the money. He doesn't
You
have
could
principle.
probably, am I crazy? Didn't that thing have like 2 discs and you jam the spikes through wherever you
Yeah.
felt like it?
The-
So I don't
they're-
remember if they made a commercial, but couldn't you take like 12 steaks and make like shish kebabs in there of whatever you wanted?
make meatloaves if you wanted to, but boy, you'd make a mess in there.
I don't know. Or turning meatloaf, it would probably barely drip. You'd have a juicy meatloaf, I bet.
Well, it's getting the meatloaf to stick.
Yeah.
Well, with 12 sticks, there's like, there's more than 3. Like you get more steaks. Because if I remember right, there was those 2 plates, and then plates had a bunch of holes in them because you could have like moved the sticks wherever you needed for whatever you were cooking.
How
I
about
think
like
they even
vegetable?
showed making a meatloaf, I think.
Could you make like vegetable kebabs and stuff?
That's what I'm
like
thinking.
that?
I bet you could do like 12 if they gave you that many
'Cause
sticks.
I love kebabs.
Yeah, and the idea of like having them inside of a thing with all the juices falling on top of each other, like that would be appealing, having no matter what the kebabs are, really. Like the top ones are dripping on the bottom ones all the time. Like that would be good.
Oh, so, Mr. G-Webs, is there anything you got
over
coming up? Yeah, we're just over 2 hours in, so.
I think so. Thanks for hosting, though.
And I'll speak for barbecue. Thursday nights, some of the times, he has a show. What, Gary? Do you know what time his Thursday show?
9 o'clock Central.
9 o'clock Central. What's it called?
Oh, whatever the hell
ripoff?
this is, or the ripoff, you'd call it that.
So at 9 o'clock Central Time, Thursdays, I don't know about most of the time. Sometimes Guns Barbecue does chat. And once in a while he does them randomly.
This week he did 2. He did Thursday and a Friday.
He did a Friday chat.
Well, I'm personally glad that he did a country music one at a time when I wasn't there. So I'm glad I missed that.
Yeah, I missed it. I don't think I would have been any help. I don't know country music that well.
Yeah, like The Gambler is 9 to 5 country. Like I don't know any country songs.
He
I think
did.
so.
He did it because of a comment I made in his previous chat where I said I hated Billy Ray Cyrus,
Oh,
and so he had to make a point out of it. So
but I did see it brought a bunch of people together on a Friday to bullshit about country music or whatever.
it did. Yeah, Sarge was on there. there.
Really? Oh.
And Cobalt
I'll
Flame.
definitely have.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and listen to it for sure now.
I tried
so
a couple
Gary-
of times, but it's like listening to French people talking French. Like I have no idea what they're talking about. And they're all like reminiscing about concerts, about things I don't know any of the songs. So, I mean, it was not even interesting because I don't know any of it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know any of it.
Oh, Jean m'appelle.
Or like maybe when y'all talk
Billy
about
Cyrus.
sports, it's like the Charlie Brown teacher to me. You know, I know what you're saying, but I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, sports ball tomorrow. Seahawks versus the Patriots.
Oh, yeah. Super Bowl. Well, you can't say that. It's a
What?
trademark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
Strictly
really strict
speaking,
about it.
yes, owned by the National Football League. They will ding you.
I mean, seriously, is it like something that they go around
Yes.
getting mad at people?
Yeah. So
Like if you titled
so-
your video like SB,
Especially
this and
in
that.
print advertising. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
most people call it the big game or something like that.
The
or
Super
championship.
Oh,
Day.
shit. I just thought that was some tradition thing. I didn't realize it's like a stepping
Yeah.
lightly type of thing.
They actually own the rights to that name. Yes.
So like a newspaper couldn't say tomorrow is the thing in a headline, or like Super Bowl party. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say like SB parties or the rage this year? Like that kind of stuff would get them in trouble?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think we're safe saying Super Bowl. I'm not monetized, so and
Oh,
they're
okay,
not
so it's
gonna
just a
change
monetized thing, not like they'll shut your channel down for some reason.
it. I doubt it.
Okay. Well, I mean, if they're going to do it, it would be the day of, and we're literally in the day of, so I don't want to be messing with it.
The first one wasn't even called the Super Bowl. It was called the NFL Championship or AFL NFL Championship game. But I believe it was Lamar Hunt. His children had a Super Bowl and were playing with it. And he got the idea from that name, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. So you remember the Super Bowls?
Yeah,
I've heard
I didn't know
heard
it came
that.
from that.
Yep.
Interesting fact: the Seattle Seahawks, their first year in the NFL, they were an NFC team. Then their second year, they were switched to the AFC, and then later down the road, I forget what year, we're switched back to the NFC. So Gizzard,
Yes.
anything you have coming up?
Well, let's see. I've got Foul Territory Monday night at 9:00 p.m. on the Gizzard Gary channel. I've got a couple flashlight reviews that I have recorded. I've got to do the video editing, so those should be out next week. And I put out some knife shorts last week. Check those out. And just saying, yeah, you did a 2-hour show, but I know a guy that did a 3-hour show all by himself, so it can be done. But anyway, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it can be done, just not by me. So, if you watch this in replay, leave a comment, please. I do read them, and I appreciate them. I read every comment. Next chat should be next Saturday. I don't know. Do we want to do a giveaway next Saturday?
Are you?
I might as well. I mean, I'll buy stuff that I think, oh, that'd be good for a giveaway. And then it'll get buried and I'll forget that I bought it.
It's probably going to give away a OKC blanket or something.
No, you son of a bitch. I can't. It was a gift and I can't. If somebody, I know I am compelled to keep it because it was a gift.
Will you
for
do something funny
period of
with it,
time.
like use it as a rug or something, or like use it to like use underneath the car to like crawl underneath there or something? Like, will you use it for something that's actually like, you know, I don't want
just
to
thought
ruin a good blanket.
he'd appreciate something from the NBA champions, you know.
No, it was stored in a safe place and will stay there for some length of time.
Buried in a time capsule.
So yeah, maybe we'll give some stuff away next week.
I was moving stuff around and I found I have like a backpack. It's actually a pretty big size backpack full of the knives that I'm going to sell or give away or whatever. Like all the Civivis that they send me that are liner locks basically. And then a bunch of stuff that I've bought and did videos and I don't want anymore. So I thought I'd lost it for like months. I mean, I knew it was somewhere in the house, but finally found it again. So anyway, I might be able to help throw some stuff into there if you want.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Vulcan Rebel said, I know a guy who did a show, got up, left and forgot he was on, went to sleep and woke up the next morning apologizing. I've seen that quite a few times over the years. That, or I mean, I've even seen people fall asleep on their chat.
Squid did it once.
Well, the one that comes to mind is Coop, C&T Designs and Arms. At some point, he fell asleep, and you could hear him snoring, but you couldn't see him. I don't know how long his chat went for.
Well, you guys don't even know. This is like, I don't even know how many generations of or cycles of chat stuff. I mean, this has been a pretty long one. But yeah, there was definitely chats where people fell asleep back in the day. Like when we first got chats and stuff, we're chatting all the damn time.
Oh, I've fallen asleep on panels many times.
No, but I mean like that, where somebody is live and they just, well, like Bob would fall asleep drinking beers. Edge would fall asleep drinking beers all the time.
Well, that's why Coop fell asleep.
Scotsman one time, yeah, he was drinking.
Or just, you know, doing, because they would go live after work, right? So it's like, you know, get home, eat, go upstairs and get on a chat, or go downstairs and get in a chat, or host a chat. And like, you know, especially people that just rant, you know, so then they're on there and then just fall asleep because they're tired and talk themselves to sleep basically. And their audience is, you know, doing other, anyway. Yeah, that happens. Definitely it happened over the years. Has happened over the years.
Oh, Wiggy Earl is out there. Good evening. Well, we're just wrapping it up. That's what we're talking about.
Wiggy in real life.
So next chat will be next Saturday. And I guess we'll give some stuff away. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what we're going to give away. And yeah. So other than that, I hope everybody has a good night and go do something good.